400-meter hurdles. Yamazaki of Asia on the inside, Morgan of the United States in 2, Tedalov of Europe in 3, Mateti of Africa. I'll start there, not sure by whom yet. Could. Cadogan, as expected, has gone off very quickly. He's up on Nunes, who ran the 48.8 recently, and Nunes going off quickly, and now Mateti getting into his stride, and so is Tedalov, the European champion. The American not showing at the moment from the second lane, and Nunes has gone off very quickly in the all-blue strip of the Americas, and Cadogan running well, but he's now got to sustain it, and the third 100 meters important, and when it comes off the bend into the straight, and that's where his strength has gone in the past. Mateti really long striding. Nunes from Mateti and Tedalov on the inside at the moment. Mateti and Tedalov and Nunes, and Tedalov, the European champion, challenging. Mateti's very strong though, and Mateti's going to take it. Tedalov in second place, Nunes in third, Henser in fourth, and Yamazaki in fifth. And 48.79 the winning time. Cadogan in sixth place. A disappointing run for him once again.
That really is somewhat of a surprise. The distances in this competition, well, nobody so far has jumped over 8 meters. Douglas de Souza of the Americas leads with 7 meters 96, and tremendous support here for Fred Saal. Well, very good speed on the runway. And a real good leg shoot at the end. Now then, the crowd down there suspect that something rather special may have happened. Fred Saal celebrating. Remember, he needs over 7.96 to go back into the lead. And if he managed that, that would represent a new personal best performance. This is the best I've seen Fred Saal jump for many, many years. He won a silver medal in the Commonwealth Games back in '86. He was a little below par in the Commonwealth Games this time in Victoria, where he finished fifth. And that competition was won with 8 meters 5 centimeters. Well, he's celebrating. He's seen the distance. My goodness, 8 meters 10 into a headwind. That's the 4th longest ever by a British athlete. A resurgence of British long jumping when it was most needed. So the final result for Fred Saal, a superb one, a personal best performance. De Souza of the Americas in second place, Dion Bentley of the USA in third, and Aregbu, the Commonwealth champion representing Africa, 7 meters 87 in fourth place. A superb performance for Great Britain.
In 4, Sally Gunnell, Great Britain in 5, Norosh of Europe in 6, Rieger of Germany in lane 7. O'Donnell chasing Norosh. Norosh has gone on the quicker of the two, and she's about a metre up on the moment. Norosh of Europe, the bronze medalist in the European Championships, leading, very charged off. Rieger, the taller of the two, the German outsider, the silver medalist, being run down. Sally now closing down just a little bit as they approach to 200 metres. Gunnell now level, and Gunnell and Norosh, these two level, and Sally Gunnell now moving towards 300 metres, stutters a little there, but she's now a metre and a half up, and the 3 European medalists are way out ahead, and Sally Gunnell in trouble with the stride pattern there again, but leads off the bend. Dupre of the Americas going well in the second lane, but Gunnell coming home a clear winner here. And the battle is for second place, and it's Rieger again. Gunnell by a big, big margin brings Britain home for maximum points. Rieger in second place. And in third place, just Norosh over Dupre. And the time, 54.80. And the British women's captain leads by example once again. Superb run. And receiving the acknowledgement of a crowd that must be somewhere in the region of 18,000 here at Crystal Palace.
As a 3,000 metre runner, and then stepping down to 1,500 metres. Just behind her, Bullmerg.
Chalmers so unafraid to attack even the world's best. The Commonwealth 3,000 metre champion. Got the bronze medal in the Olympic final in '92 in Barcelona. but has improved since then. Bull Merker now ready to attack. Home safe in third place, which is going to be quite a race for the 8 points that go to the winner. Chalmers responds, but Bull Merker looking very strong. Bull Merker on the near side, going away now. And again, maximum points for Africa. Chalmers in second place for the Americas. Now for Great Britain, third and looking very tired indeed, Kelly Holmes. A race for fourth place, which is won by the Australian Leaney, with O'Sullivan running for Europe in fifth place. 4-1-0-5. Hard race for them all.
But a good win for Bull Merker, who just stayed on the shoulder of the leader, Angela Chalmers, who I think will look back on this season, Angela Chalmers having moved up a class. She really has done very well. But Bull...
Oceania in 2. Gaines, America in 3. Otti, Jamaica, and the Americas in 4. Onyali, Africa in 5. Chen Jiao Ying, China, running for Asia in 6. Paula Thomas for Great Britain in 7. Rivalova for Europe in 8. Boy, first time they got a very even start. Rivalova going very quickly on the outside. Thomas got a good one, but Rivalova better. And also going well is Otti. And Kathy Freeman in lane number 2. Off the bend, it's Otti and Onyali, and on the near side, Rivalova. Otti putting in the big one here. Otti comes away from Rivalova second, Freeman third. And in fourth place, Mary Onyali. Paula Thomas found that a bit hot. 22.23. Convincing win. Mary Otti, who started the season with problems. Running tonight for the Jamaicans and Americas, but she lives nowadays in Italy. Otti with maximum points for the Americas. Rivalova second, Freeman third. Paula Thomas in sixth place, 23.22 for Great Britain. Henderson, America in 5. Forkomowski, Europe and Russia in 6. Adenaikin, Africa and Nigeria in 7. And Christie, the British captain, nearest the camera in lane number 8. Won this event in Cuba 2 years ago. 3 times the European champion, twice the Commonwealth champion, the world champion and the Olympic champion. Now 34. But had a marvellous, if very hard season. Plus 1 or 2 injury problems. The 100 metres, the World Cup final. We're unsteady there, surely, the German. Like 1 or 2 of them were rocking. Adenaikin in lane 7, I'd say. The African. This time they go, the third time of Ashley Christie away, not too well. Also going well in lane number 4 is Mansour. It was a very fast start, but Christie coming through in the finish with Adenaikin. Christie wins it, Adenaikin second. And Mansour, I think, of Asia got third place. 10.22. And Christie struggled a little bit out of the blocks, but came away when it mattered most. Adenaikin smiles. And Christie back on the winning trail. Slight headwind. 0.3. Splendid finish. And that's what the crowds come to see. So the 2 captains, Sally Gunnell in the 400-metre hurdles and Linford Christie in the 100 metres, men and women's captains, set a fine example. Christie was away so badly and he's been starting so well. But look at the way he gets back into the race. Mansour in the white, lane 4, brilliant starter. The Asian comes from Qatar, faded towards the finish. Adenaikin has got Christie under pressure, but Christie responds. He wins. Adenaikin second for the Africa team, and in third place for Asia, Mansour, the man from Qatar.
Well, William Tanui of Kenya in Africa, Hannigan of Austria and Australia and Oceania. Mochibon, the German. Kim Yong-hwan, Asia. And Mark World Championships in '83 was fourth in Barcelona. Here comes Everett then, as we approach the 400-meter mark, and Everett, the American's taking it off. 52.01 at 400 meters, so respectable. Everett leads. Barbosa in second place. Winrow in third. In fourth place, Tanui. And then Mochibon coming up past Kim Yong-hwan. And Winrow, Mochibon, the tall German, now taking them on. Winrow's trapped on the inside. Tanui, the Olympic champion, in fifth place at the moment. Now, what sort of form is Everett in, and what sort of form Barbosa in, representing the Americas? Winrow's run well so far. Now he's out of trouble. He's in a good position, and Everett's really stretching them out, and he's going away at the moment. Everett of the United States, the American champion. Tanui coming wide on the outside. Barbosa struggling in second place. And Everett, the American, and Winrow in second place, under attack from the Olympic champion Tanui, and Tanui's going to come past him. Everett wins it. Tanui in second place. Winrow in third. Hannigan in fourth. Mochibon in fifth. And Teresa in sixth. And that was a good run, 1:46.02. And you couldn't ask much more of Quade Winrow than that. And Everett, well, he didn't leave it in.
Pushing himself. He's certainly an athlete who never spares himself. He's tough, he's hard, but he's also quite a gentleman. Speaks fluent English. And he's lapped at least three of the runners. The crowd enjoying this, seeing one of the all-time greats in action. He's going to be inside 27:40, a marvellous run.
Well, a great run by Khalid Scar. To do a run like that, 27:38 on your own, on a night like this, at the end of a very long season. And in second place, Sileo still coming down the back straight. Coming on the top bend now, and Rob Denmark in third place. They're both racing it out.
Scar's last lap, just inside the minute. As Sileo now for the Americas, the Argentinian, and the all blue in second place, and Rob Denmark coming in third for Great Britain to gain valuable points. On the second leg, Alan Neef on the third, and Sally Gunnell on the anchor. In the women's match at the moment, there's a tie between Europe and the Americas. This is unofficial, with 33 points. Africa in third place, 25, and Great Britain fourth with 23. So in the lead. Germany have gone well on the first leg. Well, it was a great run by Philly Smith, put Britain into a very big lead indeed. Can they sustain it? The breaking point coming up now. Linda Keogh from Basingstoke. Got an enormous lead, about 15 metres. .51.3 the unofficial time for Philly Smith on the first leg. Very difficult leg indeed. The Americans chasing hard, Germany in third place. And Keogh tying up a little bit. Melanie Neep goes on the next leg for Great Britain. Sally Gunnell's got some real speed merchants against her on the last leg, so a lot depends now on how Neep handles this one. First season international from Glasgow, she's done really well. Neep out in front, the Americans second, Germany third, the rest at the moment nowhere. But the Europeans on the last leg have got Perrick. Represented by the French team. But they're way back at the moment. And so too Oceania. Europe back in fourth place, but Neef tying up a bit as the German comes through now. There's Meissner. So they got a good change there, the Germans, and Sally Gunnell's got a lot of work to do. The Americans in second place. And the last leg for them. Duputy Cuba. The Americans lead, Germany second. Gunnell not panicking though, closing down slowly, easing away to get a free ride in the last 200 metres. The Americans out in front still. And Gunnell now prepared to attack. The German is Rucker, and Gunnell's caught the German. Can she catch the Cuban? And she can! Sally Vettel brings Britain home in front. Germany second, the Americas third, and Perec of France for Europe in fourth place. 3:27.36. Superbly judged anchor leg. Phyllis Smith, Linda Keogh, Melody Neave and Sally Gunnell. That was a splendid win against really very high-class opposition. But Gunnell showed her experience, didn't panic when they were going away from her in the first 200. She knew they were going too fast, and then she cut them down. The split times unofficially: Smith 51.3, Keogh 52.3, Neave 52.8, and Gunnell 50.7. Well, at the end of the first day, it looks as if in the men's match, Great Britain will be in second place overnight, behind Africa, the holders. In the women's match, well, that's put Britain in a stronger position, probably into third place as of this moment. On the final leg for the Americas, Duputy of Cuba. Gunnell cuts down the German first. Rucker responds, but Gunnell's too strong. And then the attack on the final leg athlete for the Americas, who's tying up, and that is a case of timing perfection. Great Britain 8 points, Germany 7, the Americas 6.
Great way for the
Great Britain. That competition, one of 3 field events that got underway some 8 minutes ago. And Golly opening up there with a very fine effort. 16.64 he came down at. Currently leads the competition, but very, very early stages in that triple jump. You can see conditions beautiful down there on the runway. Stands filling up nicely now, right alongside these men. That's a big effort from Golly, who won the Commonwealth title, indeed set a new championship record with his first effort. 16.64, a nice opener and something to build on. I think it was possibly Agyapong or maybe Patzval there in lane 4 for Germany. Gives me a chance to introduce the field to you in full. Yes, certainly Patzval there. Away this time. Well, a good start by Agyapong, no doubt about it. The Britain bursting out of the blocks there and certainly throwing the gauntlet down to Dimitrova, but the Bulgarian coming through for Europe now, and also going well as Lopez. And I think Agyapong taking third place there really gave a shock to this woman, the European champion. Wind speed minus 0.9, so not too strong down there in their faces. That winning time 12.92, very, very solid indeed under the circumstances. And Jaggi Agyapong really throwing the gauntlet down to that field over the first 50 metres.
Well, this was an extraordinary start, wasn't it? I mean, so many women left behind there in those central lanes, including Patzval, incidentally, of Germany. Agyapong in lane 2 it was who got by far the best start. Really unsettled, I think, Dimitrova, because nobody was watching Alyushka Lopez in blue in lane 7 here, the Cuban who's the world junior record holder, because it was, in fact, Lopez who got so close and, in fact, did win it. On the dip, Lopez won the high hurdles against Dimitrova, who really...
He's the only one capable of getting out there, I think, at this stage of the season. That one's not close. Around 1680, 1690. Gets the white flag and is having it measured. Not quite sure why, because it's meaningless being, what, 3/4 of a metre almost below his best effort. Well, that in itself would have been good enough to put him in third place. Only Julian Golly over that, 1682 in second.
Points. Britain is second on 32 and the Americas third on 28. But to one of the highlights in the early stages of this day 2 World Cup competition, coming to you, well, as it becomes increasingly cloudy at Crystal Palace. Rusterholz got off pretty well, but so did young Bittner, but I'm afraid the German, with his credential, is just going to die in the final stage of this race. Dwayne Ladejo's gone off very, very fast for Great Britain. He's taken a metre or two out of Kitor. Antonio Pettigrew going very fast for the USA. He's passed the European bronze medalist, and he must have taken about 10 metres out of Rusterholz, Pettigrew. Pettigrew's going to come into the straight very close to the lead. It's a very unusual style he's got, a bit like Zatopek, but Dwayne Ladejo is up on him and past him. Well, Pettigrew is rallying. Pettigrew's probably got a half a metre. He is going to win it. He's going to go away. Pettigrew wins. Ladejo is second, and it looks very much as if Senna is going to be third. That's a bit of a surprise. The Brazilian hung on to third place, but all credit to Pettigrew. Lane 7 is not the best draw. He had a slight advantage. He got a good man outside of him, Rusterholz, the European bronze medalist, but he really tore down and passed the Swiss, even by the halfway mark. Excellent. Good 30 metres over Saeed Shaddad Al Asmari of Saudi Arabia, running for Asia. Kiptanui running for Africa, of course. So the African well ahead of the Asian. Now Lambruschini is rallying the European champion. He's starting his last lap kick, and he's almost certain to go past Walker, and in fact sooner rather than later. Look at that. He's pulling him back very, very quickly indeed. Never lacks bravery, Walker, but what he does lack really is a concerted surge over the final lap, and in fact he's done exactly the right thing, hasn't he, Lambruschini? He's gone past Walker very, very quickly. In the lead though, and way out and on his way to victory is the Kenyan running for Africa, the world record holder, Moses Kiptanui. Very easy victory he's going to clock up here. So another victory for the African men. So 8 points in the bag there. They're going to go even further in the lead in this men's competition. Very easy run. Well, 8:28 to 28. Moses Kiptanui wins for Africa.
Shot competition in fourth place at the moment with 17.92. This is our third putt. And that's not as good as 17.92. That's around 17.70, 17.75 there for the Commonwealth champion. Took her second Commonwealth gold medal 2 weeks ago in Victoria, Judy Oates. Throwing his seventh in order. But she's a very, very tough customer indeed, Judy Oates. Is out.
There's victory, a wonderful triple jump, 17 metres and 61. But great news from Julian Golly there. Personal best 17.06 in second place for Great Britain. Oleg Sikirkin, the Kazakh athlete competing for Asia, finishes in third place. And despite a long hold, away first time. Good start by Sheila Eccles over in lane 2 there. But Privalova well into her stride. The European champion is going to win this by about a metre on Yali. And a very good run there by, in lane 3, Liliana Allen of Cuba. Not quite as good as Lopez, who won the high hurdles recently. In fact, I think Liliana Allen just edged second. But no doubt about the winner there. Another slowish time, but it was into a headwind of 1.7 metres per second. Running for Europe this time, Irina Privalova, the double European champion, takes the 100 metres after she had to give best last night in the 200.
Well, Sheila Eccles deceived, didn't she? She started so fast over there in lane 2 for USA, but was pulled back very quickly by the rest. Great start from Privalova, although this is probably one of her slowest races of the summer, if not the slowest. And an excellent race there between the athletes in 3 and 4. Allen in the blue for the Americas, Onyali for Africa in the black and orange. And although Onyali dips well, I actually think Allen may have taken it. No doubt from the winner, but a marvellous dip there from Liliana Allen of Cuba in lane 3. a la Colin Jackson, and Jackson sometimes actually going under the photo finish. 11.32 over Allen's 11.50, and Onyali in third, 11.52, running some second lap well within his capability as he hits the bell just ahead of Pyra. Suleiman in third place at the moment. Stenzel, the German, has run well to go with this group and pull away from the rest. Locke back in fifth place, leading the chasers, but Morsley now beginning to build up that pace. Suleiman perhaps one of the few there who is really capable of going with him over the first 100 metres down the back straight there, but Morsley really pulling away now, Pat.
Well, the only interest really, Tim, is to see just how quick he can run this final lap. We all remember the 51.93 in that 5,000 metres in the pouring rain in Zurich when he ran a 13.03, and he did a 51.9 last lap in Paris last week in the Grand Prix final. So, you know, he went through the bell incidentally 2:41.
Well, Morsley down the home straight. Doesn't really look like he's been giving it 100% in this final lap, but look at the gap he's built up. 30 metres, 35 metres now. Massive margin of victory for Nuruddin Morsley. 3:34 there, a 53-second lap, there or thereabouts, good enough. Him. Stendel takes second for Germany, a late charge to take Suleiman back into third place, and the American running well there, Pyro. That's one of their best performances on the track by the males. Certainly.
Live on Eurosport. It is the men's 4x100 metres relay. And the starter asked them to stand. Wasn't happy with the set. Away satisfactorily there. The Africans got a good start, but the Europeans didn't. Very poor start by Europe there. The British away very well. Good pick up there. And the British still going very well. Regis takes the baton, and he's surely in the lead at the moment, but the Africans coming very, very strongly at the death. Linford Christie takes over with a very big lead. Well, you said, Tim, it would be a great finale if the British men could win it. Christie brings them home. A good 8 metres to the fore, ahead of Africa and Germany in third place. And the French really not doing too well in that Europe strip.
Just shows what goes to show, Pat, what the British squad are capable of doing when they actually keep the baton in their hands. Christie there on the final leg, taking over with a big lead and extending it by another 2 or 3 metres. And John Regis has already joined Linford Christie to celebrate that one. I think they'll notch that one up as maybe a little indication of what should have happened at the European Championships. The French not in good form there at all. 38.46 they're the time, way outside the Cup record, which is 38.03, held by the USA. So about 4 metres slower, but that's irrelevant. The tyre conditions here not ideal. It's a wet track. It's still a bit of a breeze blowing across the stadium, and that a very, very competent and conclusive victory for the British squad. The Union Jack doing a circuit of the track as usual. The whole crowd in the stadium on their feet and really enjoying that one. And well, what a shame it was that in Helsinki, Christie was left standing at his takeover point to go into the final 100 when Braithwaite and Jarrett fumbled their chains. Here it is, a really good opening leg by the British lead-off man Braithwaite. Bit safer putting him here in on leg one. Passes over very, very safely indeed to Tony Jarrett, who runs down the back straight in lane 6 for Britain. And already by this stage, the British squad had made up a big, big lead on the teams outside them. The Americans, for example, in lane 7, way, way behind. Let's have a look here at the changeover. The Africans going pretty well up to that point. The Americans having a disastrous changeover there in lane 3. But a great bend here by John Regis. So much frustration within this season for John Regis, of course, having missed out on those European Championships. And he ran such a solid bend here. The changeover to Christie, very safe indeed. Not one of the fastest changeovers if you actually measure the baton speed, but nevertheless a safe one, and that's what's important. And they could afford it. They were way out in front, and this margin of victory is very decisive indeed. The Germans on the inside, the Africans battling for the minor places.
And some very poor changeovers by the European champions. The French there running on block for Europe, just couldn't get that baton together as well as they did in Helsinki. And the British team captain, a big smile on his face. He looked very tired when he won the individual 100 metres after a very poor start last night. So Linford Christie ends day 2 for the British on a high, albeit the Africans were in second place. So overall, Africa will stay in first place in the men's competition. Great Britain wins 38.46, Africa second 38.97, Germany third 39.17. The US managed to get back up to fourth, and the French squad running for Europe were only sixth. And there you got the head-on view of Christie bearing down on the finish line with a veteran Brazilian, Robson da Silva. Not seen much of him over the last couple of years running for Oceania. I beg your pardon, running for the Americas. He finished with Linford Christie, brings the team Germany third with 56.
And the women and the men's results there. after the second day. 13 events gone. Africa lead. Great Britain still in second place, although the Americas have closed up. 2 points now in it. Of course, Britain losing a lot of points today in the pole vault and the discus, for example. We had an 8th and a 7th in those two. The Americas in